Hello everyone and welcome to this Hatha Yoga class. Today we are going to focus on our hips. So let's get on our mat and let's start. We will start this class with some sun salutations. You get at the top of your mat, feet are together, legs are engaged. Draw your belly button towards your spine, shoulders back and down. And then with your inhalation, you lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. With your inhalation, you lift up your chest a little bit, step back with your right leg, right knee on the ground, and exhale, lift up your chest. Inhale, hands on the ground and step back into a plank position. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the ground. And then with your inhalation, you shift forward into cobra position. With your exhalation, you get into downward facing dog. With the next inhalation, step forward with your right leg, left knee on the ground, and exhale, lift up your upper body. Inhale, place your hands on the ground, step forward, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb, and exhale, bring your arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest, step back with your left leg, left knee on the ground. Exhale, lift up your upper body. Then bring your hands back into the ground. Inhale, step back into a plank position. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the ground. Inhale, shift forward into a cobra position. And exhale, get into a downward facing dog. Then inhale, left foot forward, right knee on the ground, and exhale, lift up your upper body. Inhale, step forward, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, and exhale, arms down. We will repeat this 2 more times, but now we will stay in each position for a couple of breaths. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Now try to straighten your spine, so you pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. You push your belly towards your spine and you draw your rib cage in. Keep breathing. Exhale, forward fold. If you can comfortably reach the ground with your hands, then do so. If not, you can also bend your knees or you can take hold of your legs instead. Try to lengthen your spine, draw your belly button inside, and also engage your pelvic floor. Inhale, lift up your chest and step back with your right leg. Bring your right knee to the ground. And exhale, lift up your upper body. Try to keep your left knee on the ground. Your arms stay engaged and you reach down towards the ground. Your shoulder blades pull together and down towards your hip. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground and then inhale, step back with your left leg and get into a plank position. Make sure that you're not sinking down with your lower back, so pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. Your belly button stays pulling towards your spine and your rib cage is also drawing inside. Exhale, bring your knees, your chin and your chest to the ground. You can decide how big this back bend is, so you can shift with your hip farther away from your knees or closer towards your knees. Make sure that your hands are below your shoulders and that your elbows stay close to your body. Inhale, shift forward into a cobra position. Now your feet are pointed, your heels are together, your elbows are still close to your body, and you're only lifting out of your back. So don't push yourself up with the help of your arms, but feel the engagement in your back muscles. Exhale, tuck your toes under and push yourself back into a downward facing dog. Your feet are hip width apart. You try to bring your heels closer to the ground, but they don't have to reach the ground. Make sure that your fingers are spread wide and that you're distributing your weight evenly into your hands. Your neck is relaxed and your belly button is still pulling inside. Inhale, step forward with your right leg, left knee on the ground, and exhale, lift up your upper body. Make sure your right heel stays on the ground, and you can choose whether you want to keep your toes of your left leg tucked under or if you want to keep them pointed. Lengthen your spine, think about being proud and strong. And keep your arms engaged with your fingers pulling towards the ground. Exhale, place your hands back on the ground. Inhale, step forward, and exhale, forward fold. You can again choose your variation of the forward fold, so you can either bend your knees or hold on to your legs. But still make sure that your belly button is pulled inside, that your pelvic floor stays engaged, and you try to elongate your spine. Inhale, lift up your upper body, bring your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Again, we try to lengthen our spine and straighten our spine. So pull your pubic bone towards your belly button towards your spine, and draw your rib cage in. And exhale, lower your arms. Last round. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Pull your pubic bone towards your belly button inside. Also depress your shoulders, so try to bring your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Once more, choose your option. Try to lengthen your spine, and if you want to, you can bring your weight more forward into your tippy toes. Keep breathing deeply into your chest. Relax your neck. Inhale, lift up your chest and step back with your left leg, left knee on the ground, and exhale, lift up your upper body. Again, keep your right heel on the ground. Elongate your spine, your shoulders back and together. Be tall and proud in your upper body. And feel the stretch on the left side of your hip. Exhale, place your hands on the ground, and inhale, step back with your right leg and get into a plank position. Again, try to have a straight spine. Also, try not to collapse in between your shoulder blades. So push the floor away and push out of your shoulder blades. Also, try to push your heels back. Exhale, bring your knees, your chest, your chin to the ground. Again, choose how deep you want to get into this back bend. It's totally fine if your hip is much further away from your knees. But try to engage your back muscles by thinking of a hollow back. Inhale, shift forward into Cobra position. Only lift out of your back muscles, so do not push yourself up with your hands or your arms. And try to keep your heels together, your toes are pointed. Elongate your spine and keep breathing. Exhale, tuck your toes under and push yourself back into a downward facing dog. Try to keep your arms in line with your back and try to push yourself back over your heels. So imagine you want to press or push the floor away from you. Your neck is either relaxed or you try to bring your chin closer to your chest and your gaze is towards your belly button or towards your thighs. Inhale, step forward with your left leg, right knee on the ground, and exhale, lift up your upper body. Your left heel stays on the ground. Your upper body is strong and tall. Your shoulder blades are pushing back and down, and you want to really feel the opening of your right hip. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Inhale, step forward, and exhale, forward fold. Once more, choose your option. Enjoy this forward fold. Feel the length in your spine. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Inhale, lift up your upper body, bring your arms above your head. You're staying here once more. Try to look towards your thumb and try to elongate your spine and keep your spine straight. Depress your shoulders. And exhale, lower your arms. So now we are warmed up. So next we will do some standing postures. Take a big step back with your left leg. Bring your heel to the ground and your foot is pointing forward in a 45-degree angle. Interlace your fingers behind your back and now bend forward as far as you can while you try to pull your hands out of your shoulder girdle. If possible, you can even get with your head to the ground, but try to keep your left heel on the ground. Inhale, lift up your upper body, release your hands, and now you want to open your hip. So you want to bring your hip in line with your legs. Now with your exhalation, you bend your right leg and place your arm on your thigh while you're straightening your left arm above your head. You want to stack your hips above each other. And also try to push your right knee to the outside. Exhale, place both hands on the ground and then you will keep your left hand on the ground. Now you can also lift up your left heel and lift up your right arm. We are twisting now. Try to keep your hips parallel to the ground. So you want to push your right hip rather down and your left hip up. Exhale, bring your right hand to the ground but at the inside of your right foot. And now we're going to stretch our left hip flexor. Try to keep your left leg completely straight. If you feel comfortable here, you can also get down onto your elbows. And then inhale, lift up your upper body. Get into a standing position. Again, you try to push your left heel to the ground, extend your arms on shoulder height to the side, and then with your exhalation, you step back at the top of your mat. On to the other side. step back with your right leg. Bring your right heel to the ground and your feet are pointing forward 45 degrees. Interlace your fingers behind your back, and with your exhalation, you bend forward, trying to push your hands away from your shoulders. If possible, you can try to reach the ground with your head, but keep your right heel pushing into the ground. Inhale, lift up your upper body, release your hands, and now you try to bring your hips again in line with your legs. With your exhalation, you bend your left leg, you place your arm on your thigh, and your right arm is now extending above your head. Try to stack your hips above each other and try to push your left knee to the outside. Keep your right heel pushing into the ground. Exhale, place both hands on the ground. You can also bring your right heel up, and now you lift up your left arm to the sky. Again, try to keep your hips parallel to the ground while we are here in this twist. You can intensify the twist by really pushing into your right hand and opening your shoulder girdle. Exhale, bring your left hand back to the ground, but at the inside of your left foot. Try to keep your right leg completely straight. And if you feel comfortable here, you can get down onto your elbows. Inhale, lift up your upper body, get back into a standing position, push your right heel back into the ground, extend your arms on shoulder height, and then exhale, step back together at the top of your mat. Once more, take a big step back with your left leg, your left heel is on the ground, and your foot is pointing forward in a 45-degree angle. Now you want to push your left hip forward while you're pulling your right hip back. With your exhalation, you bend your right knee and you bring your arms above your head with your inhalation. Try to keep a straight spine, so you do not want to get into a back bend. So you again want to draw your pubic bone towards your belly button towards your spine, and you want to pull your rib cage inside. Inhale, open your arms to the side on shoulder height, and exhale, open your hips so that they're getting in one line with your legs, and keep your right knee bent. Keep your right knee pushing to the outside and also your left heel to the ground. You really want to open your hip in this position. Keep your belly button pulling towards your spine. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, step back together at the top of your mat. Take a big step back with your right leg. Your right heel is on the ground and your foot is pointing forward in a 45-degree angle. Push your right hip forward and your left hip back. With your exhalation, you bend your left knee, and with your inhalation, you lift up your arms above your head. Again, try to make sure to have a straight back. Also, keep pushing your right heel into the ground. If possible, your gaze is towards your thumbs. Inhale, open up your arms to the side on shoulder height, and exhale, bend your left knee again and open your hips so that they're getting in one line with your legs. Keep your left knee pushing to the outside and your right heel pushing into the ground. Remember to keep a straight spine and elongate your spine. Breathe deeply into your chest. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, step back together at the top of your mat. Inhale, step back with your right leg and get into a straddle position. Your toes are pointing forward, your hands are in your hips. Elongate your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands on the ground on shoulder width, and then inhale, elongate your spine once more. Exhale, fold forward as much as you can. If you need it, you can bend your knees. Try to keep your elbows also on shoulder width and keep a long spine. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, place your hands on your waist, and then inhale, come up all the way. And then up there you can exhale. Inhale, lift your arms on shoulder height, and then interlace your fingers behind your back. With your inhalation, you already try to pull your arms away from your back, and with your exhalation, you bend forward. Now you try to open your chest area, pull your arms and your hands away from your shoulder girdle. And then when you found that space in your shoulder area, you try to bring your hands closer to the ground. And inhale, come up all the way and release your hands. Now you want to point your toes to the outside. If possible, you can even get on one line with your heels and your toes. And then you can either keep your hands on your waist or you bring them in front of your chest in prayer position. We want to get down with our exhalation. So with your exhalation, you go down into this plie squat. Try to keep your upper body upright, so don't lean forward. Push both knees to the back so that you really open your hips here. Inhale, straighten your legs. We will repeat this again, but now you want to maybe bring your heels a little bit closer together. And then with your exhalation, you again go down into this plie squat and try to lift up your heels from the ground. If this is too much, you can alternate and lift only one heel at a time. Keep your upper body upright and keep breathing. Inhale, straighten your legs, and exhale, step back together at the top of your mat. Now we will do some balancing postures. Lift up your right leg and try to place your right foot either on your lower leg or on your upper leg. It's even okay if you're just having your tippy toes on the ground and balance there. But it's important that you do not put your foot on your left knee. So now you want to try to engage your muscles of your right butt so that your knee of the right leg is getting in one line with your hip. You can play around with the positioning of your hands. You can keep your hands on your waist or you place them in front of your chest in prayer position. You can also, if you want to, lift them up above your head. And if all of this is not challenging enough, you can close your eyes. And exhale, release. We will repeat this on the other side. Now you lift up your left leg. Remember, you do not want to place your foot on your knee, but everything else is fine. And then the first thing you want to work on is aligning your hip with your knee. So you want to push your left knee to the back, and that should work by engaging your left butt muscles. You can again play around with the positioning of your hands, and don't forget, if you want to, you can also close your eyes. Exhale, release. And now we will do a posture which is also quite hard for me. Your left foot is pointing forward, and then you bring your left hand to the ground in distance of your upper body. You try to lift up your right leg and try to stack your hips above each other. While you do this, try to keep your left foot, your toes, pointing forward. If all of this works well, you can lift up your right arm as well. And then the hard part is really to look towards your right arm or your right hand. And exhale, release. We will repeat this on the other side. Now your right leg is your standing leg, your toes are pointing forward. You bring your right hand to the ground in distance of your upper body. And then you try to lift up your left leg, and again you want to really stack your hips above each other. So you want to get in one line and you have to push your left hip back. If that works well, you can lift up your left arm straight up to the sky. Otherwise, you can also just keep it on your waist. Make sure that the toes of your right foot keep pointing forward when you stack your hips above each other. And if all of this works well, you can try to look towards your left hand. And then with your exhalation, you release. So that was hard for me too. We will do one more balancing posture. Place your right ankle above your left knee and try to turn your knee to the outside so that you're kind of forming a 4 with your legs. And then with your exhalation, if possible, you bend your left knee and you can keep your hands in prayer position in front of your chest. Inhale, straighten your left leg and release the posture. We will repeat this on the other side. Now you bring your left ankle across your right thigh above your right knee, and with your exhalation you bend your right knee if possible. Again, you can keep your hands in front of your chest in prayer position. And inhale, you can straighten your leg and release the posture. We will go down on our mat, but we will do that with the help of a posture. So bring your feet close together, also your legs are touching each other. And then inhale, bend your knees and sit deep. Try to keep your knees behind your toes. Your arms are above your head. Try to straighten your spine. So again, pubic bone towards your belly button inside, and your rib cage is drawing inside as well. And then exhale, sit down completely. Get into a seated position with your legs extended in front of you. And then you get into a straddle position. We will do something to strengthen our hip flexors. I start on the right side. We want to lift up only one leg. The further you lean forward, the harder it will be to lift up your leg. So find that position where you can still lift up your leg. And if it's just a millimeter, that's fine. And then with your inhalation, you lift up your right leg. You can push with your hands against the ground. Keep your spine elongated. Keep breathing. And exhale, release. We will do the same thing on the left side. So again, find a position where you can still lift up your leg. And inhale, lift up your left leg. Keep your spine long. Push against the ground with your hands. And exhale, release. And now bring your legs together again. You can shake it out a little bit if you want to before you have to bend your legs. Your hands are next to your hip and you really want to think of a long, straight spine. And then you try to lift up your legs from the ground. You do not have to straighten your legs yet. Try really to focus on your straight spine. And exhale, release. We will repeat this, and I will take my hands away from the ground, but only do that if you can maintain a straight spine. Otherwise, keep your hands on the ground. Inhale, lift up your feet from the ground. If possible, you also lift up your hands, and if you can straighten your legs. Hold it, lift up your chest, pull your shoulder blades together and down. Keep breathing. And exhale, release. You can do a little forward fold if you want to relax for a moment. And then you straighten out your legs again. And we will move in the other direction, so to say. Your legs are engaged and together. Bring your hands behind your back on shoulder width. Your fingers are pointing forward. And then with your inhalation, you push into the ground. You really straighten your arms and you want to think of a back bend. So you push your chest to the ceiling. Really think of opening up your chest. Think of a hollow back. Keep breathing. And exhale, release. As a counter pose, you can, if you want to, do a little forward fold and just relax a little bit. We will now also lift up our hip, but if you felt like this posture was enough for you, you stay where we were just before and repeat this posture. Now your toes are pointed, your arms and hands are in the same position. You inhale, lift up your chest, and then you lift up your hip. You try to get in one line. Your pelvic floor is engaged, your belly button pulls towards your spine, you push out of your shoulders. And exhale, release. Can do as a counter pose once more, a little forward fold, but really completely relaxed with absolutely no pressure to get deep into the pose or to touch your toes. And then you want to lie down on your belly. We will first work only on our upper body. So you bring your arms together behind your back and you interlace your fingers. And with your inhalation, you want to lift up your chest and pull your hands away from your shoulder girdle. Really want to open up your chest, feel your back muscles, keep breathing. And exhale, release. You can bring your forehead on the ground or you grab your elbows and place your head on your arms. Now we want to rather engage our legs. So you want to bring both of your arms below your body with your palms facing towards the ground. If this is too uncomfortable because of the pressure of your hip bones on your arms, you can try to shift your arms a little bit outside, but then your leverage will not be that high. And then with your inhalation, you lift up your legs and hold it. Keep breathing. Try to keep your legs completely straight, so don't bend your knees. And exhale, release. Relax a little bit before we will move our arms and legs up. Now straighten out your arms in front of your head. And we want to lift up our arms and our legs at the same time. Inhale, lift up your chest, lift up your arms, lift up your legs. Again, try to keep your legs completely straight, your toes are pointed, your arms are in shoulder width. Keep your arms completely straight. Exhale, release. Again, relax, lying on your belly button. And then you push yourself back and bring your hip above your heels, and we go into a child's pose. So you allow your chest to rest on your thighs, your forehead on the ground. Relax and sink deep into this posture. And lift up your upper body again and come onto your knees. Your knees are hip width apart. And we want to do a little back bend. What you want to think first of is pushing your hip forward. Keep your pelvic floor engaged, your belly button pulling inside, your knees are pushing into the ground, and your hip is pushing forward. To support this movement, you can place your hands on your butt and push your hip forward. Now also try to lift up your chest. Then inhale, come back up. Sit down on your heels, take a moment and relax. We will repeat this one more time. If this was already enough for you, you stay there. If you feel there is more space for you, you can try the next step. We start just as before. So for the next step, the aim would be to grab our heels. It is a little bit easier if you tuck your toes under, because then your heels are getting closer. Again, engage your pelvic floor, pull your belly button inside, Shift your hip forward and try to lift your chest up to the ceiling. You want to think of a long spine. And if you feel that there is enough room and you don't have any issues with your back, you can try to reach back and reach for your heels. You should at no point feel any pain or discomfort in your back. Inhale, slowly get out of the posture, and exhale, you can sit back onto your heels and relax there a little bit. From there, you slowly move forward into a child's pose. So you can rest your chest again on your thighs. You allow your head to rest on the ground and your arms on the ground as well. And then you slowly lift yourself up and get into a seated position with your legs stretched out in front of you. Your feet are touching each other, your legs as well. Your legs are engaged and your feet are flexed. Think of a long spine. Inhale, elongate your spine even further, and exhale, fold forward. You can place your hands next to your legs or on your legs. Only if you really can reach your toes easily, you can grab them. Lengthen your spine. Breathe deeply into your chest. Keep your belly button pulled inside and your pelvic floor engaged. With your next inhalation, you lift up your upper body. And then you place your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Try to bring it as high up as possible, but keep your hips squared. So don't move your right hip to the back. And then inhale, lift up your chest, and exhale, fold forward. Just as before, think of a long spine. It is absolutely not necessary to touch your toes, but feel the stretch. Keep your left leg engaged and your left foot flexed. And then inhale, lift up your upper body, and exhale, release your right leg. Inhale, place your left foot on the inside of your right thigh. Again, make sure that you're not shifting back with your left hip. Then inhale, lift up your chest, and exhale, fold forward. Pull your belly button inside. Keep your pelvic floor engaged. Your right leg is engaged and your right foot is flexed. Keep breathing. And then inhale, lift up your upper body, and exhale, release your right leg. Now bring both feet together and try to bring your feet as close as possible to your hip. You can take hold of your toes, and first you want to really try to sit up straight. So your shoulder blades are pulling back and down, your belly button inside. And you try to bring your knees closer to the ground, but only with the power of your muscles. And if you feel comfortable here, you can inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold forward. But try to keep your spine as straight as possible. So you really want to go down with your belly button first. And then inhale, come up, and exhale, release. Now bring your right foot as close as possible to your hip, but keep your foot a little bit outside of your hip. And your left leg is engaged. With your inhalation, you lengthen your spine, exhale, fold forward, and try to get with your right arm around your leg. If possible, you try to grab your left arm with your right hand. Inhale once more to lengthen your spine and exhale, fold forward. Again, keep your left foot completely engaged and your left foot flexed. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, place your left foot as close as possible to your left hip, but slightly outside of your hip. And inhale, you want to lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. And if possible, you can again grab your right arm with your left hand. And then inhale once more to lengthen your spine and exhale, fold forward. Keep your right leg engaged, your right foot flexed. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, release. Again, bring your right foot as close as possible to your right hip, just as we had it before. Your left leg is engaged, your left foot is flexed, and inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist over to your right side and try to get your left shoulder as close as possible to your right knee. You can either keep your right hand behind your hip, or if possible, you can bind once more your hands behind your back. Your gaze is over your right shoulder. Inhale, gaze forward, and exhale, release. We will repeat this on the other side. So with your inhalation, you place your left foot as close as possible to your hip, and you lengthen your spine, and exhale, bring your right shoulder as close as possible to your left knee. You can either keep your left arm behind your hip to support your posture, to support yourself sitting up straight, or if you can try to bind your hands behind your back. Your gaze is once more over your left shoulder. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, release. Now get into a straddled position, but keep your legs engaged so your feet are also flexed, and make sure that your knees are showing upwards, or that you rather try to draw them to the back. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold forward. If you can easily reach your feet from the outside, then you can grab them. Otherwise, you just keep your hands on the ground in front of you. Keep your spine straight. Keep your spine lifting up, your chest lifting up. So try to first go down with your navel. Inhale, lift your upper body up, and exhale, release. Now you can lay down onto your back. Now we will do some back bends. We will start with the half bridge, and then we will try also the full bridge pose. Bring your feet as close as possible to your hip, but they can be a bit farther away than hip width. And then if you can, you try to reach for your heels and press with your inhalation into your heels and lift up your hip. Allow your chest to get closer to your chin. Make sure that your knees are not falling to the outside, but that your knees are rather staying above your ankles. Also, try to keep your buttocks relaxed. Exhale, slowly release. We will repeat this one more time. So you can again take hold of your ankles if you can, and then inhale, bring your weight onto your heels and press up your hip. Allow your chest to get closer to your chin. Your knees are above your ankles. Your buttocks is relaxed. Keep breathing. And exhale, release. I will now switch over to full bridge pose, but if you feel that this is too much for you, then simply repeat the half bridge pose as I just showed you. As for all the other postures, I leave it to your own discernment how far you go. If you want to do the full bridge pose, you start the same way, but now you bring your hands behind your shoulders with your fingers showing towards your shoulders. Push your elbows together, and then with your inhalation, you bring your weight again into your heels, push up your hip, and then you push up with your arms and lift up your head as well. Try to evenly distribute your weight above your arms and above your feet. Keep pushing out of your arms, keep lifting up your chest, and then with your exhalation, you bring your chin to your chest and slowly go down to the ground. And then bring your knees to your chest. You can hug your shins and relax here a little bit. Next we will do the shoulder stand, and I can only repeat, I leave it to your own discernment whether you really want to go that far or whether you want to simply straighten your legs and keep your back on the ground. You should not feel any discomfort or pain in your neck in this posture at any time. If you do want to get into shoulder stand, then you lift up your hip. You can either keep your hands on your hip or you really get up even a little bit higher and place your hands in your lower back. Try to build a straight line, so try not to bring your feet over your head. Your fingers should be pointing upwards, and you should try to bring your elbows as close together as you can. Now, if this is possible for you, you try to bring your toes to the ground behind your head with your toes pointed. And if your toes are reaching the ground, then you can release the hands from your back and place them on the ground. And then you press firmly into the ground so that you can roll down without your head or chest lifting up from the ground. And also when you bring your legs to the ground, you pull your belly button to your spine and engage your buttocks so that you're not lifting up your lower back while you're bringing your legs to the ground. When you're lying on your back, you bring your hands below your buttocks with your palms facing towards the ground. And then you bring your weight into your elbows, lift up your upper body, get into a back bend. Bring your chest up And if possible, you allow your head, the crown of your head, to sink to the ground. Keep your back muscles engaged. You really want to think of a hollow back. Keep breathing. And then inhale, lift up your head again and release the posture slowly. And now we have arrived at our final relaxation, at our Shavasana. So you find a comfortable position on your back. Your feet are falling apart. Your arms are next to your body. Your palms are facing upwards. Make sure that you're really in a comfortable position. And if not, then take the necessary steps to change that. Allow your body to relax completely and sink deeper and deeper into the ground. Allow your muscles to get completely soft and feel how you're relaxing more and more with every exhalation. Your mind is relaxed as well. So whenever a thought comes up that is distracting you from your relaxation, you consciously take note of your thought. You take a look at your thought for a moment, and then you simply release your thought. And you do this with every single thought that comes up. And in between your thoughts, you can, if you want to, focus on your breath and feel how your breath is entering your body and how your breath is leaving your body. Slowly you can start moving your body again. You can do whatever movement that feels comfortable for you right now. And when you're ready, you turn to your right side and stay there for a moment. And then with the help of your left hand, you push yourself up and get into a seated position. Thank you very much for following along this Hatha Yoga class. I really hope you enjoyed it. If so, then give it a thumbs up and do not forget to follow my channel so you do not miss out on any other content that I provide. For now I say Servus!